Diana Soley. Welcome back to Caring for Our Elders. Today I'd like to share with you my experiences with my mother and my aunt over the last 10 years or so, caring for them in their later years. They both have passed away now, unfortunately, and I miss them terribly, but my mother passed away just a few months ago at the age of 99, and my aunt a few months before that at the age of 101. So they had good long lives, and I'm very proud of them, and we had some good years together. I got to know them much better because I was responsible for the care of the two of them. So I'll start with my mom. About 10 years ago or so, when she was in her late 80s, is when she started needing a little bit more attention. She was living by herself in North Carolina, eastern North Carolina, near the coast, and I live in Fairbanks, Alaska, so I'm a long ways away. And we considered, well, should Mom come live with us here in Fairbanks, Alaska? Well, our house only has one bathroom. It has an extra room that would be at the other end of the house to get to the bathroom. It's kind of cold. It's certainly cold in Fairbanks. She would be cold all the time here. We have lots of stairs. Long story short, it really wouldn't have worked for her to come here, and she didn't want to. She was having a good time with her network of friends in North Carolina. She was doing fine. She stopped driving somewhere around age 90, I think, or 92, somewhere in there. And that slowed her down quite a bit. But she had friends that would take her shopping, and things were fine. So she was getting tired easily and whatnot. So we had Merry Maids, a maid service, come in once a month, just to help her out, make sure the house was getting cleaned, because that was something that it was getting harder for her to do. And that was good for a while. And then we needed a little bit more care for her. I wanted to make sure that she was getting more attention. So when she was about, I don't know, 88 or, no, when she was 92, we had a caregiving agency send people over 2 or 3 times a week. They would be there for 2 hours, 3 hours, and just be with her, check on her, do some light housework, make sure she had some food in the house, do some shopping, or get prescriptions for her, that kind of thing. So that was okay, and then I knew that she was getting some attention, and she was able to take the senior transportation to water aerobics at the pool and do her things, and so she was doing okay. But her memory was starting to get bad, and she was slowing down, and I did get increasingly worried about her, and this was a really hard time. But I felt like I was worried about her all the time, and we had a life alert button for her, but she didn't really seem to understand how to work it and what she was supposed to do with it, and she was just it was getting tenuous for her to be home alone. So we made the difficult decision to have her move to an assisted living facility near her home. And so when she was 94, she moved to assisted living, and it was a beautiful place, and she learned how to play bingo, and she made some friends there, and she did okay. And she was happy enough. She missed her condo, but she was okay. But assisted living can be really expensive, and she was running through her savings pretty quickly. And we figured, well, if we sell her condo, then we'll be okay. And so I cleared out the condo, got it on the market, and it sat on the market for 9 months and never sold, at which point I was getting worried about her money. And I got a call just about that time from a friend of my aunt's in South Carolina, and Aunt Ellie was not doing well. They said, Diana, you've got to get down here and do something for your aunt. Ellie didn't have any children, so I was her sole caregiver. I'm an only child, so it fell on me, and that was fine, but it meant I needed to figure out what to do with Aunt Ellie. And she was 97 at the time and very weak, barely able to get out of bed, and I didn't know what really to expect. I looked into assisted living down there, but her finances were pretty slim, and couldn't find anything that I felt that she could afford. So what we did was, since my mom's condo hadn't sold and I needed a place for both ladies, I moved my mom back to her condo. I moved Ellie from South Carolina to North Carolina, and we had the two ladies living in the condo together and sharing expenses, and we had caregivers coming in every day. We had them coming in twice a day, every day of the week. So basically 6 hours a day they had somebody there with them, cooking, cleaning, making sure, getting them out of bed, helping them get dressed, all of those things. And that worked for about 2 years. The ladies were happy, they had a good time together, reminiscing about the old days, and it was really quite cute. They were like a couple college kids in the dorm. That felt good. Ellie came back around, she started eating better, and her energy came back, and so it was good, although both of them were developing memory problems. Just dementia was setting in for both of them. When Mom was 97 and Ellie was nearly 100, I got a call from the caregiving agency that they were no longer going to send the ladies over there, or send the caregivers over to the ladies, because it was an unsafe situation. They shouldn't be spending so much time alone. And so, again, the hard decision, what to do. And I found an assisted living place nearby that I felt they both could afford. They were sharing a room there, which cut the expenses down, and we moved them into assisted living again. And so that was okay. They definitely needed the help at that point. Mom's dementia had gotten quite bad. She really didn't remember much. And Ellie had some confusion and was quite frail. So other than that, they were quite healthy. They didn't need nursing homes at that point. They were, neither one was taking any real medication. They were just elderly and had dementia problems. So they were in assisted living for about a year and a half, and then, as so often happens, Ellie fell and broke her hip and had surgery, and she came through the surgery just fine, 100-year-old woman, but she was not ever going to be able to walk again. So she couldn't go back to assisted living, and so she now had to be in a nursing home, and Mom stayed in assisted living, so they weren't together anymore, and that was kind of the beginning of the end, because they just didn't thrive as well anymore individually. So they were living apart until September 2018, when Hurricane Florence came through North Carolina. Both of their facilities had to evacuate prior to the hurricane, and so Ellie ended up out in western North Carolina, and Mom ended up about 2 hours away from where she had been. And I got a call in October that Ellie wasn't doing well. They were bringing her to the hospital, and I immediately, my husband and I, flew down to North Carolina and didn't quite make it in time. She passed away in the hospital there. So she was indirectly a victim of Hurricane Florence, but she was 101 at that point, and she had lived a good life. And so that was difficult. and Mom never quite understood, because at that point Mom was not really understanding what was happening around her. Mom never did get back to her original, the earlier assisted living place. They were in evacuation status until last spring. Mom had some medical issues, and then when she went back to the assisted living place, she had hospice care, and so the hospice people came and helped her out a couple times a week, and she was having trouble feeding herself, and just in general, she was 99 and fading and not cognizant much. She recognized me, but that was about it. She just didn't know what was going on around her. So she passed away just a few months ago now, and that is the story of how I cared for the ladies as best I could, and lots of different things that we went through to try to make life good for them, and I just wanted to share that. And I'll be sharing with other people that I meet, and we'll get other people's stories, and I hope that you think that this is a useful topic for this channel, and if you do, please push the subscribe button on your screen so I get some encouragement to keep going. So thanks a lot. See you next time.